Behind the factory doors where millions of KitKats are made every day, there is a finely tuned process filled with precision, speed, and a touch of magic. From raw ingredients to that unmistakable red wrapper, get ready to uncover the secrets of how your favorite treat comes to life. A brief history of KitKat. The KitKat bar as we know it today first made its debut in 1935 under the name Rowntree's Chocolate Crisp. Created by the Rowntree's company in the UK, the chocolate was originally designed as an affordable snack for working people who wanted a treat during their breaks. It wasn't until 1937 that the name was officially changed to KitKat, a clever nod to the popular 18th century literary club called the KitKat Club, which also met in a venue with the same name. KitKat's rise to global fame was swift. Its simple yet irresistible combination of crispy wafer and smooth milk chocolate quickly won the hearts of consumers. The four-fingered design made it easy to share, which only increased its popularity. Over the next few decades, KitKat expanded beyond the UK, becoming a beloved snack in many parts of the world. In 1988, Nestle acquired Rowntree's, including the KitKat brand. Today, KitKats are produced in Nestle factories worldwide, except in the United States, where Hershey holds the rights to produce KitKat under a licensing agreement. Under Nestle's ownership, KitKat has maintained its status as one of the world's most consumed chocolate bars, with more than 17 billion KitKats sold annually. Gathering the ingredients. Before a KitKat ever reaches your hands, the journey begins with carefully selecting high-quality ingredients. Every bar starts with 3 essential components: cocoa, sugar, and milk. These ingredients are not only the foundation of the chocolate itself, but also the key to ensuring the signature KitKat flavor and texture that fans worldwide crave. The cocoa used in KitKats is sourced from some of the finest regions in the world, where rich, high-quality beans are harvested to produce the chocolate's distinct taste. Most of the cocoa beans come from West Africa, particularly countries like Ivory Coast and Ghana. Nestle is committed to ensuring that the cocoa it uses is not only the highest quality, but also ethically sourced. Through its cocoa plan, Nestle works with local farmers to improve farming techniques, ensure fair wages, and promote sustainable practices. Once harvested, the cocoa beans undergo a rigorous selection process. Only the best beans, free of imperfections or defects, make the cut. These beans are roasted and ground to create the cocoa mass that forms the base of the chocolate coating on each KitKat bar. Next comes sugar, which gives KitKat its sweet, satisfying taste. Sugar is sourced from trusted suppliers around the globe. Milk is another crucial ingredient in the production of KitKat. Nestle sources fresh milk from dairy farms close to its factories to maintain both quality and freshness. Once delivered, the milk is processed and combined with the cocoa to form the rich milk chocolate coating we all recognize. While the classic KitKat flavor remains consistent, certain additives and flavorings help enhance the taste and maintain the chocolate's consistency. These might include natural vanilla extracts or lecithin, an emulsifier that ensures the chocolate mixture remains smooth during the production process. Depending on the region and any special additions being produced, the flavorings might vary slightly, but the core formula remains faithful to the original. Throughout the ingredient sourcing process, quality control is paramount. Every shipment of cocoa, sugar, and milk is thoroughly inspected before entering the factory. Teams of experts test for purity, taste, and consistency to ensure that only the best ingredients go into KitKat bars. If any batch of ingredients fails to meet these high standards, it is immediately rejected. Mixing and molding the chocolate. The transformation from raw cocoa beans to the delicious chocolate coating that envelops every KitKat bar is a fascinating process that takes place in state-of-the-art factories around the world. Once the high-quality cocoa beans are selected and delivered to the factory, they undergo the first step in their transformation: roasting. This process is critical as it brings out the distinct flavors of the cocoa and enhances the aroma of the beans. The roasting process is closely monitored to ensure the beans are heated just right. Too little roasting can leave the chocolate flavor flat, while over-roasting can result in bitterness. The beans are roasted in large industrial ovens, where their moisture content is reduced and the flavor is perfected. After roasting, the outer shells of the beans are removed. This process leaves behind the cocoa nibs, the core of the cocoa bean that contains all the flavor. These nibs are then ground into a thick paste known as cocoa mass. This paste is rich and dense, and it is the starting point for creating the chocolate that coats every KitKat bar. The next step in the factory involves blending the cocoa mass with other key ingredients: sugar, milk, and flavorings. The proportions of sugar and milk are carefully measured to achieve the perfect balance of sweetness and creaminess. The mixture is heated and stirred continuously in specialized machinery to form a perfectly homogeneous blend. This is where the magic happens. Through a process called conching, the chocolate is refined to remove any grainy texture, making it incredibly smooth. Conching involves stirring the chocolate mixture at high temperatures for several hours, allowing the flavors to develop fully and the texture to become silky. This step is essential to producing that rich, creamy chocolate layer that surrounds each KitKat bar. Now that the chocolate has reached the ideal consistency, it's time to mold the bars. In the KitKat factory, specialized molds are used to create the signature shape of each bar. First, a layer of chocolate is poured into the mold to form the base of the bar. Next comes the famous crispy wafer, carefully placed in the mold and coated with an additional layer of chocolate. This process requires precise timing and accuracy, as the wafer must be perfectly positioned to maintain the bar's structure. This combination of textures is what gives KitKat its unique and satisfying snap. The wafer layers are expertly sandwiched together with chocolate, and the molds are then filled with the remaining milk chocolate, ensuring the wafer is completely surrounded. The molds are carefully vibrated to ensure the chocolate fills every crevice, eliminating air bubbles and imperfections. One of the most recognizable and beloved characteristics of KitKat is the distinct snap you hear when breaking off a finger of the bar. This iconic feature is not accidental. It was intentionally designed to create a satisfying tactile experience for the consumer. The snap is the result of precise engineering in the production process. The thickness of the chocolate and wafer, combined with the way the chocolate cools in the mold, gives each KitKat bar its characteristic break. The molds used to shape KitKat bars are created with grooves that allow the chocolate to harden into the perfect snapping segments. Each finger is separated by these grooves, making it easy to break off without crumbling. This design is a critical part of what makes KitKat bars so enjoyable, adding an extra sensory experience to every bite. The Wafer Creation. The crispy wafer inside every KitKat is one of the key features that make the chocolate bar so special. That light, crunchy bite surrounded by smooth milk chocolate has been perfected over the years through a precise manufacturing process. The process starts by blending high-quality flour with water to form a smooth dough. The consistency of the dough is crucial. It needs to be thin enough to create the delicate texture of the wafer, but strong enough to hold up when layered with chocolate. Other ingredients like sugar and vegetable oil are sometimes added to enhance the flavor and structure of the wafer. Once the dough has been mixed to perfection, it is rolled out into thin sheets using specialized machinery. These sheets are incredibly delicate, and they must be handled with care as they move through the production line. After the dough is rolled out, it's cut into the familiar rectangular shapes that will become the individual wafer layers inside the KitKat bar. These sheets are then passed through industrial ovens, where they are baked at high temperatures. The baking process is critical. It's what gives the wafers their signature light, crispy texture. Too little baking, and the wafer will be chewy. Too much, and it could crumble. The wafers are baked until they reach the perfect golden brown color, signaling that they are ready to move on to the next step. As soon as they exit the oven, they are cooled to room temperature to ensure they maintain their crispness. Once the wafer layers are assembled with chocolate, they are pressed together to form a solid core. This core is then placed into the chocolate molds, where it will be encased in the final layer of milk chocolate. The wafer layers must be carefully aligned to maintain the structural integrity of the bar and ensure that every bite delivers the same satisfying crunch. The packing process. Once the bars have been cooled and inspected, they move to the next stage, packaging. This process is just as intricate as the earlier steps. Each KitKat is wrapped in its signature foil and then encased in a familiar red and white sleeve. Modern factories use high-speed, automated machinery to wrap each bar with precision. These machines are capable of wrapping thousands of KitKat bars per hour, ensuring that production keeps up with the massive global demand. The packaging process is also designed to maintain the freshness of each bar. The foil layer helps to protect the KitKat from moisture and air, preserving the crispness of the wafer and the creaminess of the chocolate. As the bars are wrapped and sealed, quality control checks continue to ensure that every KitKat meets the high standards expected by consumers worldwide. In recent years, KitKat has made significant strides toward reducing its environmental impact through more sustainable packaging practices. Nestle is committed to using 100% recyclable or reusable packaging by 2025. As part of this initiative, KitKat has begun transitioning to more eco-friendly materials for its wrappers. Once KitKat bars are perfectly wrapped and packed, the journey from the factory to store shelves begins. The distribution process is a well-oiled machine, designed to deliver millions of KitKats to supermarkets, convenience stores, and vending machines across the globe. Logistically, KitKat's global distribution network is vast. From Europe to Asia, North America to Africa, the bars are transported by a combination of trucks, ships, and airplanes. Nestle's efficient supply chain ensures that KitKat reaches every corner of the globe quickly, maintaining its signature taste and texture upon arrival. KitKat variations and innovations. One of the things that makes KitKat such a beloved treat worldwide is its ability to innovate and adapt to local tastes. Over the years, KitKat has introduced countless variations and flavors, many of which have become fan favorites in their own right. Nowhere is KitKat's flavor innovation more evident than in Japan, where the brand has developed a cult following thanks to its extensive range of unique flavors. Perhaps the most famous of these is the matcha KitKat, which blends the iconic KitKat wafer with green tea-flavored chocolate. Matcha KitKat has become synonymous with Japanese candy culture and is a must-try for tourists visiting the country. But matcha is just the tip of the iceberg in Japan. The country has introduced flavors like sake, soy sauce, and even wasabi KitKats. These flavors reflect Japan's adventurous approach to candy and offer consumers a chance to experience something entirely new, while still enjoying the familiar crunch of KitKat. Seasonal and limited edition flavors are also released frequently, making KitKat a collectible item in Japan. KitKat's regional customization isn't limited to Japan. Across the world, KitKat has adapted its flavors to suit local preferences. In the UK, for example, you'll find orange-flavored KitKats, while in Canada, KitKat Chunky Peanut Butter is a fan favorite. In India, KitKat offers flavors with a hint of cardamom and spices. These regional variations allow KitKat to maintain a global presence while respecting and celebrating local flavors. KitKat has also embraced dietary trends, offering KitKat Vegan and KitKat Dark to appeal to health-conscious consumers or those with dietary restrictions. In the United States, KitKat is produced under a licensing agreement with Hershey. The Hershey Innovation Lab regularly experiments with new ideas. Recently, flavors like mint plus dark chocolate and birthday cake have hit the shelves, offering a fun twist on the original formula. Hershey's KitKat Chunky bars, which offer a thicker version of the classic bar, have also become popular in the US and other markets. The chunky version provides a bigger, bolder KitKat experience, with larger wafer layers and a thicker coating of chocolate. This variation has been embraced by consumers looking for a heartier, more substantial treat. KitKat's willingness to innovate and adapt ensures that the brand will continue to surprise and delight consumers for years to come. Whether you prefer the classic milk chocolate version or love to try out the wild flavors from around the world, KitKat's Variations offers something for everyone. Tell us about your favorite KitKat experience in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. For now, we're out of here. Catch you in the next video.